You guys, we made it. We did it. We're at the end. The last one. I was in awe today and feeling just so inspired and so proud of our student speakers. How about another round of applause for them? So eloquent and beautiful, and now I get to stand up here and use the F word. Cover your ears, you guys. All right, adults, get ready to say it with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3. What did you think I was going to say? My name is David Sheppard. I've been a professional educator for 12 years now. But if you go back to starting preschool and then elementary school, middle school, high school, college, second college because I was kind of a mess in my 20s, third college, graduate school, student teaching, internships, what it all adds up to is spending the last 34 years in school. And one thing that I've learned during all of that time is that this is a dirty word in education. And I don't know why. Now, when I say fun is a dirty word in education, when I'm talking about fun, I'm not saying that we should just allow students to do whatever they want, whenever they want. That usually doesn't turn out well. And I'm not saying that we should just make things easy for students, otherwise we would all just stay in kindergarten our entire lives. And I'm sorry, I'm not saying that we should just play Fortnite all day long either. What I'm saying when I'm talking about fun is I'm talking about creating an experience that we want to be in by choice. So what makes that happen? What is fun for us? Well, usually we can break down fun into one of or a combination of 4 different elements. One of them is chance, an element of chance. That's why a lot of us gravitate towards games, because no 2 games ever turn out the same way. We like that. Another thing that a lot of us gravitate towards the arts. And that's because it includes an element of creativity or imagination. The third element of fun is showing what we know. As humans, we're social, right? And we like to share what we know. We like to be good at things that we're good at, and we like to share that with others. And finally, we like choices, right? We like to be in control of our own destiny a lot of times. And it's my belief that schools should be places that are a little bit unpredictable, that allow students to use their creativity and imagination, and allow students to share what they know, and to give students choices about their own learning. I was very lucky. I had a great teacher in 4th grade. He created experiences that were fun, that students wanted to be in. And my favorite was something called A few times each semester, Mr. Delgazo would ask all of us students to push the desks to the far edges of the classroom, clear out all of the chairs. And what he would do is bring in a big box fan and set it down right in the middle. He'd go into our supply closet and he'd pull out these long strips of heavy-duty industrial strength plastic, and he'd tape it to the fan. He'd turn the fan on. The whole thing would fill up with air, and then we could go inside. It was amazing. The only rule of the bubble was that we were only allowed to do one thing inside: read. Now, as a teacher, I know that the more we read, the easier it gets. It's just the hardest part for a lot of students is getting started. Well, how many students do you think couldn't wait to get started reading when they were inside the bubble? I'm not sure that you could do this today. I'm pretty sure that it violates several international safety protocols. But this is what innovation looked like in the 80s. Sure, it was a little bit dangerous, but it was a lot of fun, and it got us invested in our learning. And it really started to transform my thinking about learning as well, both as a student and then later as an educator. When I went on to become a teacher myself, I started thinking about teaching as like an all-you-can-eat pizza buffet, where the possibilities were endless, and it was fun and exciting. And I started to think about traditional teaching with students lined up in perfectly neat rows as something antiquated and old that maybe somebody at some point liked, but by today's standards, just seemed a little gross. It's another F word. The Frankfurters always throws me off. So a lot of research has been done about this, as it turns out. In fact, in Britain, starting in 1970, there was a study called the British Cohort Study. It followed about 17,000 students over the course of their educational career, and they found out what I learned in the first 5 minutes in the bubble. And that's basically, if you're having fun while you're doing something, you're more likely to do it again. Specifically in education. If you're having fun while you're learning, you're more likely to learn it quicker and better. And more specifically, with reading, if you're having fun while you're reading, your not only reading and language skills improve, but your math skills improve as well. And that wasn't the only study. There's been a lot of research out there that can connect the having fun to brain activity. Other scientists have found that having fun releases endorphins. It lowers stress and anxiety. And it improves short-term memory. So, if all of this research shows that we should be having fun in school, then why is it not happening every single day in every single class? And the answer, I think, is a simple one. This is the fear of failure, or to put it another way, it's the what ifs. You see, as teachers, we're kind and gentle people, and we're generally rule followers. We like to do the right thing, and that's what makes us good role models for our students. But it also makes us more beholden to curriculum unit planners and, what if we don't finish this lesson? What if our student doesn't finish their multiplication facts? What if? Well, as teachers, what we need to remember is that nothing great ever happened without taking risks. And I'm pretty sure nobody ever wound up in jail because they didn't learn their multiplication facts. In fact, I might argue that if some criminals felt more successful in school, then their career paths might have ended up differently. So how do we have fun at school? What are we going to do? Well, for some of you, I'm sad to say, it's too late. If you've rolled your eyes at the beginning of this presentation, you might be too far gone. But for the rest of us, there's hope. There's 3 simple things that we can do to have more fun in our lives. And in fact, I'm going to give an assignment to all of you student speakers here today to try these 3 things out on Monday and tell all of your friends. The first thing that I want you to do is go into school and fail. Get something wrong. This actually isn't for you so much as this is to train your parents. Parents, they're gonna be okay. I promise. The second thing I want you to do is have a good laugh. Laugh hard and laugh often. And maybe most importantly, have a good laugh at yourself. And I'll give you a quick example. This is me. This is me in 6th grade, right? And it's ridiculous. Pretty absurd. The hair, the glasses, the shorts. I kind of stand by the Three Stooges t-shirt. But this is really important, especially for you kids, because parents, they're going to be the ones looking at the pictures that you're taking on your phones today in 20 years. And finally, do something bold. Take a chance, take a risk, do something unpredictable when you get to school on Monday, whatever that might look like. And I'll leave you with this quick anecdote. A few years ago, I was working late after school. My class had just reading the book, The BFG by Roald Dahl. And I was busy creating this giant mural to hang up on the door. And I really wanted the students to walk in the next day with the feeling of awe, of wonder, of like, what the heck is going on? I wanted them to be dwarfed by this giant as they walked into the classroom. And one of my colleagues was leaving as I was painting a leg here. And she said, "What are you doing that for?" And I looked at her and I said, "For fun." And so I just want you to think. I want you to think back to your own education, to your own primary classroom, maybe 4th grade. And I want you to think, walking into school, which door would you rather walk through? Thank you.